Today's lecture focuses on a question nearly every student in 2026 asks: why do my habits fail even when my intentions are strong? The answer is not laziness, lack of intelligence, or lack of discipline. The real reasons are more subtle, more psychological, and far more universal. If you understand these principles correctly, you can redesign your habits so they finally work for you instead of collapsing after a few weeks. Let us begin with the first truth. Habits do not fail at the level of action. They fail at the level of identity. Most people try to change their behavior without changing the beliefs that sit beneath that behavior. When your actions are not aligned with the person you believe yourself to be, the habit becomes temporary, no matter how much motivation you start with. In 2026, we understand this more clearly than ever, because human behavior research shows that identity always overrides intention. The second reason habits fail is because people expect consistency without designing an environment that supports it. A habit cannot survive in a space that contradicts it. If your environment is built around distraction, you cannot expect focus. If your environment is built around convenience, you cannot expect discipline. The modern world is engineered for comfort and instant reward. Therefore, habits that require patience and delayed gratification collapse quickly unless your surroundings are intentionally structured. A third reason is the reliance on motivation. Motivation is unstable. It rises and falls with mood, energy, and circumstances. If your habit depends on feeling motivated, it will only exist on the days when everything feels easy. Sustainable habits depend on systems, not motivation. Systems create stability when your emotions fluctuate. And in 2026, stability is more valuable than ever because attention is fragmented, competition is high, and mental overload is constant. Fourth, habits fail because people choose goals that are too vague and too distant. I want to be healthier. I want to study more. I want to be productive. These do not guide the mind. The brain cannot execute on abstraction. It executes on clarity, specificity, and measurable action. Without clear direction, your mind defaults to old routines because they require no decision-making energy. In 2026, where mental fatigue is at an all-time high, unclear goals collapse faster than ever. The fifth reason is emotional friction. Every habit requires emotional willingness, not just logical intention. If the habit reminds you of past failures, pressure, fear, or perfectionism, your mind will subconsciously avoid it. This avoidance is not lack of discipline, it is psychological protection. Most people never succeed with habits because they try to build them on top of unresolved emotions. A sixth reason habits collapse is the mismatch between capacity and expectation. People design habits based on their ideal self, not their real self. They plan routines that could only work on perfect days. But real growth happens on imperfect days, the days of exhaustion, stress, disappointment, and low energy. A habit that cannot survive a bad day cannot survive long-term. Modern behavioral science in 2026 calls this the fragile routine problem. Routines that break under the slightest stress. Effective habits must be flexible, resilient, and adaptable. Another major cause is the lack of immediate feedback. Habits often fail because progress is invisible. You cannot always see improvement in your health, intellect, or discipline after one day or 1 week. Your brain is wired to respond to immediate reward, and when habits do not provide it, the mind disengages. To succeed, you must design your habits so that the process itself feels rewarding, even before results appear. Now we arrive at one of the most important principles. Habits fail because people try to change too much at once. Change requires energy, and the mind has limited mental bandwidth. When you introduce too many new behaviors simultaneously, the mind becomes overloaded and returns to familiar patterns for survival. True transformation in 2026 is not about doing more, but doing less with greater consistency. Finally, habits fail because people disconnect their actions from meaning. A habit without meaning becomes a task becomes a burden becomes something you avoid. But when a habit is connected to purpose, identity, and values, it becomes part of who you are. Habits fail when they are built from pressure. They succeed when they are built from alignment. So remember this: habits do not fail because you are weak. Habits fail because they are not designed for the reality of your mind, the structure of your environment, and the demands of your life. In 2026, the students who thrive are not the ones with the strongest motivation. They are the ones who understand themselves deeply enough to design habits that match their identity, their capacity, and their purpose. When you build habits this way, failure becomes unlikely and consistency becomes natural.